Hello, people. What's going on, YouTube? I haven't been doing a lot of Cloudy podcasts lately because I've been doing a lot of other stuff. Um, also, Zoom is great. Zoom is amazing. We have been doing a lot of content on this quarantine via Zoom. So make sure you guys check that out. What's up, guys? Lot of crazy stuff going on with this quarantine, low key. It's wild. I haven't done videos on a lot of these things, but a new virus in China called the hantavirus, and there's a possibility that the Philippines may have passed a law or given permission to have people get shot if they violate lockdown. So let's just go into all of this stuff. We might as well. Got a good amount of you guys in here just off of a whim. I never say when I'm going live, so shout out to y'all for just jumping at the notifications. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about is a Minnesota doctor that was pulled over for speeding, and she received an N95 mask instead of a ticket. This is obviously not a black woman, but it's pretty crazy. Shout out to our healthcare workers who are on the front line for us. It says a Minnesota doctor was pulled over by a state trooper for speeding, and instead of driving off with a ticket, she was given N95 masks. This happened on March 21st. Dr. Sarash Ashraf Janjua, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. So it was a woman of color. So shout out to her. She's a cardiologist at a coronavirus quarantine unit at a youth hospital. She was pulled over by a state trooper, and bypassing a ticket, Officer Schwartz gave Janjua 5 N95 masks along with a firm warning for speeding. She took to Facebook to share the emotional gesture, stating, "I burst into tears, and though it may just have been the cold wind, I think he teared up a little as well before wishing me well and walking away. This complete stranger who owed me nothing and is more on the front lines than I am, shared his precious masks with me without my even asking." So, hey, it's a little positivity. I just want to throw that in there before I go into all the horrible stuff. But that's great. Shout out to our doctors and medical workers, including my father. My father is, still going to hospitals where there's corona patients, and he just came back negative for coronavirus. So shout out to Pops, and shout out to God too. Some more positive news. Why not? Disney chairman Bob Iger, never knew how to say his name, foregoes his $50 million salary, and CEO Bob Chapek takes a 50% pay cut for coronavirus relief. Now that's super dope, but it's also kind of funny that they put them in the same headline because the Disney chairman just forgone. He gave up his whole $50 million salary. And then CEO, that was the chairman, the CEO, Bob Chapek, he was like, "I'll take a 50% pay cut." It's funny that's both amazing. And shout out to both of them. But it's just funny to get those two in the same sentence. And then it's just like one of them was like, "You can have half, but that's still a lot. Half is a lot." So shout out to them. Antonio Myers, appreciate you. He said, threw me $5, which is like, I don't know, that's like a cool little brass knuckles in the apocalypse. Always appreciate it. He said, "Why am I wearing a Hamza around your neck? Do you know what it means?" I do know what the evil eye means. It's kind of weird to shout me out and try to call me out in the same comment. But yes, I do know what it means. And I keep these with all of my crystals. And yeah. I don't know what the tone of that comment was, but I do know what the things that I put on mean. So thank you. Another thing, armed neighbors. Some armed neighbors. This isn't as negative. But armed neighbors block a man's driveway with a tree and force him to quarantine. I guess he was. I guess he was going out a little bit too often. And then they didn't appreciate that. This happened in Maine. A group of armed neighbors came to this dude's house and blocked it off with a full tree to force him and the others to stay inside and quarantine. He said he went out to check on his cable box and discovered the tree outside. He said while investigating the downed tree, so I guess they just laid it there, a neighbor started yelling at him and a group of people showed up and began to gather around. Believing the group may have been there to harm him, he fled into his residence and told his roommates what he had found. People are not playing out here. People are not playing. That's wild. They said, stay home. And it's better your neighbors are just looking out than it's the actual... Yeah, because the neighbors are just being like, yo, you're being an asshole. Just stay home. It's better that than freaking the military, okay? And the police telling everybody that. So, yikes. Okay, M-Town Boy, he said, what's going on? A squirrel shit on me this morning. My day couldn't help but be good after that. I was about to say, you might as well wrap the rest of the day up because it's only uphill from here. Squirrel shit? Squirrel shit. That's just like, damn, I don't even be thinking about squirrels being something that can shit on you. But they be up there. They be up there balancing on wires and stuff. Yummy. Gun through me 5. Another pair of brass knuckles. I appreciate it. Hi, Pat. Thanks for keeping us entertained during quarantine. You are welcome. And let me tell you, it is exhausting. Between my own personal page and arcade tokens and all deaf gaming and other people's pages, it's a lot, but it's fun, and I'm glad you guys are taking to it how you guys are. So that's dope. So hopefully there won't be a lot of quarantine babies that come out of this. A lot of you guys are booed up. A lot of indoor smashing going on. But guess what? There's a global condom shortage feared as coronavirus shuts down production. Coronavirus actually shut down the production in some of these condom factories. So stock up if you in the business of condoms. Says, yeah, there's a global shortage of condoms is almost inevitable as the world's biggest producer was forced to shut down production. This is Malaysia's K-Rex BHD, which makes at least 1 in 5 condoms around the world, has halted production as the Malaysian government imposed the lockdown, which included factories. That is insane. It said the company, which poses as Durex in the US, which I've heard of them, was given permission to restart production on Friday, but with only 50% of its workforce under a special exemption for critical industries. Get your condoms, or else you're going to have a quarantine baby. All right? You don't want that. You don't want that. Stock up on your Trojans. Angela Diego, I'm out here getting weapons by the minute. Gave me another donation. Appreciate it. He said, love your content. Your videos make work go by so much faster. Well, I hope so. And shout out to you guys who are still putting in work throughout the quarantine. Get your money. My villagers. All right, moving right along. Let's get to this. Okay, well, while we're in the vein of couples and no more condoms, divorce rates actually increase among couples in quarantine, which is funny. It's so funny. I was actually just talking to the squad, and we realized that when you have a job, you're there way more than you're at home. You know what I mean? You see your significant other in the morning, at night, and then on the weekends. And I think that's how it should be. If you're around anybody 24/7, you're going to clash heads. And that's why I made it a rule. I didn't want to live with any of my best friends, only like family or something like that. because I've seen so many best friends that were all around each other all the time. But then once you're around each other all the time, that shit does not work. So this proves my point about space being necessary. It says divorce rates have rapidly increased since the coronavirus outbreak due to couples staying in for self-quarantine. Most of these couples are involuntarily spending time together in small apartments or houses that can cause tension throughout this critical time. Another factor contributing to the increased divorce rates is the recent loss of jobs and plummeting stocks among the wealthy. That's insane. Okay, here's my whole thing. For me, marriage or long-term relationships only work if you have space. I've told this story a million times, and I'll tell it a million more if I have to. I saw this documentary. It might have been like a Top Chef or some super random, but it followed a bunch of chefs around the world, and there's this dude who cooked in Europe, and he didn't have a kitchen. He cooked everything outside. He did everything unconventionally. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. His food didn't look good, but he cooked it in the ground and shit. So he had a wife or a girlfriend or something like that, and he had a kid with him. And he decided that his space was so important that he was not going to give that up. So what he did was he was successful enough at his career to where he can afford 2 houses. He had a house and his girl had a house, and they raised that kid down the street from each other, and they hung out when they wanted to, and they were alone when they wanted to. And I was like, yo, you can do that? You can customize your own life? Big bet. Because I was always horrified at the fact that there are some houses that have 10 people in it or 7 people in it, and then there's like a little part that the dude is allowed to have to himself, and he's like, yeah, this is my man cave, you know what I'm saying? I have a little mini fridge, and I have a little dish, this. It's like, nigga, no. no. And this proves it. Divorce rates are increasing because they have to be around each other more. Bam. That is an interesting dynamic. Rona Kelly. All right. 14 of them things. You done gave me an assault rifle in this apocalypse. Appreciate that. He said, my name is really Rona, so imagine the jokes. Yikes. Shout out to Rona, because this must have been a rough year for you. Rona has been dragged through the mud and almost every single day. It's the biggest thing happening on Earth in a negative way. So shout out to Rona. That must suck. Appreciate the donation. And then right under that, I'm going to butcher this. Adriana Dunn. Appreciate it. $10. You done gave me a couple things of ammo for that assault rifle. So Rona and Dunn done teamed up to keep Pat Cloud alive in the apocalypse. I appreciate that. Joshua Allen, another clip. Appreciate that. Said, if you read manga, then I beg you not to read the new Demon Slayer chapter. Okay, I will not. You begged me. But yeah, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy that divorce rates are up now? People are just like, yo, now that I really know who I'm with, this is over. All right, Keisha said, married my best friend for 15 years, and there haven't been any problems. Been together for over 20 years. Now, I'm just talking about myself. I'm not giving advice. I'm not suggesting anything. All I'm saying is compromise is good. You're going to have to compromise. But if you feel like you're compromising to the point where you're just like, damn, this sucks, and this is just a ticking time bomb for me to get upset later, because space has been my thing for my whole life. So I don't know. There are some things I think you should compromise on. Most things you do not have to compromise on everything. That's the only thing I'm saying. The whole 2 houses thing, that's something that does not work for a lot of people. And I get it. But I don't like the fact that every single couple is like doing the same thing. Like they have rules. It's like, this is what everybody else does. And it's like anything else is just like, yeah, right. You know? All right. Okay, so a couple of you guys want to know about this main event that I had sort of bubbling. So let's talk about it. The Philippines president gives authorities permission to shoot those violating coronavirus lockdown orders. So they are not playing out there. Thanks to Hollywood Unlocked for this story. The country's president, Rodrigo Duterte, it's a very Hispanic name for a Filipino person, but he recently announced an extreme move to make sure folks are abiding the lockdown orders. The coronavirus has spread globally and infected millions and killed thousands of people. Several states and countries around the world have ordered stay-home lockdowns to help slow down or even stop the spread of COVID-19. Obviously, there's a lot of people who refuse to listen. So, during a televised address on Wednesday, Duterte, the president of the Philippines, emphasized the importance of respecting the quarantine guidelines while announcing that he has granted the military and local authorities permission to shoot those resisting the new measures and abusing medical officials. Duterte said that in the broadcast to the nation's 107 million residents, it's getting worse. So once again, I'm telling you the seriousness of the problem that you must listen. That is terrifying. And the reason why is because you hear it once, and then who knows, tomorrow you hear that Japan does that. And then the next day you hear that Italy does that. And then who knows, all of a sudden, the military is here, by the way. The military is already here. They're parking a gigantic medical ship at Long Beach. I've seen plenty of helicopters. My homeboy just hit us up because he saw a bunch of helicopters with niggas hanging out. Like, damn, what is about to happen? That's freaking crazy. It's insane. You just gave them authorities to shoot. Think about how dumb that is. If you don't stay inside to protect your health, I'm going to shoot you. If I want you to not be sick and make these other people sick. So if you people or other people come out of your houses, I'm going to shoot you people and other people because I don't want you people or other people to get sick and potentially hurt. What? I want you to be safe. Bop, 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 bop. Like, fam, I'm scared of you. I don't know. It's not like that out here yet. But, I mean, every time, the only place I go is here because, I'm on Zoom all day between, live streaming you guys, gaming, Zoom with All Def rehearsals for this fucking All Def Con. This is my work, and I just moved to a place that's really high up in the hills. I have no strong connection, so it's like I literally come here for work. I have a really strong connection in the studio, so, and it's soundproof, so it's like every time I come out here, there's traffic, there's people just out. So it's like if niggas ain't listening, it might get that bad. And it's crazy because it's like, what do you do? If I'm stuck at home, I can't talk to y'all. That's it. So stay home, guys. And if you see your homies like, fuck this quarantine, I'm out anyways, let them know that they're using that as fuel to potentially change the laws. if everybody was at home and they wanted martial law anyways, they would probably have to fabricate some stuff. I did hear that there were a couple, and now this is just me being a conspiracy theorist. Please take what I say with a grain of salt. Okay, this ain't this is my YouTube channel. Okay, I'm not a reporter. I'm not a journalist. Whatever. I did hear that there were a couple of media outlets who were playing footage that was not recent to big this up. Either huge gatherings. I think they took photos and videos from like an old like Cavaliers or basketball game and said that it was a anti-COVID rally or just people were crowding on the streets, and people in the comments were like, "Yo, this is fake. This is from I was there. This is from a basketball game months ago." So either one of two things are happening in my crazy mind. I either think that, either people are really ruining it for everybody and refusing this, and I can go outside and see that and confirm that, so that people, the government could potentially use that to be like, all right, well, now nobody's allowed outside, and there will be a small percentage of people being like, well, I understand nobody was listening. Or if everybody listened, they would just release fake stuff and be like, oh, nobody's listening. And we're like, nigga, we were home. But that's me just liking to believe that everybody's up to something because I'm paranoid. Look at my background. I feel like I fit the, like, I feel like I'm in the middle of the desert with a radio show. Like, that's always the conspiracy theorist I always wanted to be. Just some guy with crazy hair. And I don't know, I should have papers everywhere. Just like, aliens are coming. This is all the aliens. But yeah, my bad. I'm just a psychopath. Ronald Burns done threw me a Red Bull. Appreciate it. He said he wants to smile with me one day. Okay. Making dreams happen. If you smiled at that exact moment, then you did it. Congrats. Sade Edwards, Sade, Cloud Villager, said Discord had to let me know you were live. These notifications are trash. And hey, Pat, Cloud Village. So that's super dope. Sade, and I don't know if it's Sade or Sade. I'd be saying shit wrong all the time. You got to join my Twitch. You know what I mean? The Cloud Village is in there strong. They even started a Discord so they can talk to each other when I'm being trash and I'm not going live. I used to go live like 3-4 times a day. Then I moved. So shout out to the village. Y'all are the freaking best. I'm going to do a little Twitch streaming after this, actually. But more from the coronavirus. So there's a man who died on a bus after testing positive for the hantavirus in China. Just when you thought shit was sweet, there's a new shit on the block. It's a virus that contains similar symptoms to COVID-19, but it's called the hantavirus. This dude just died on a bus going to work in the Shandong province. And this was a virus, I guess, that is found in rodents. It's not new, but it is proven to be more fatal than the coronavirus. So I just bring that up to say coronavirus ain't the only one out here. It's just virus city out here. This whole world is Raccoon City right now. So please, you guys, just stop touching shit. I realize how much I touch my face. It seems like every single day I'm just touching my face and then touching other stuff. I was at the post office and I got bored, so I was just touching stuff, and I'm like, yo, these are international germs I'm touching right now. These germs been around the world. I got germs with dashikis on. I got germs with Australian accents all over my hands just because I'm out here just touching stuff. So please be careful. Wash your hands. And to be honest, I saw the coronavirus. I'm going to do a video on this. I saw the coronavirus test, and they stick something all the way up your nose and just leave it there. And it's like, nigga, just treat me. Just treat me for coronavirus. I don't care about the test. I don't care about finding out if I'm negative or positive. If just treat me for it. Give me what y'all giving people who have it, and I'll just pretend that I have it. That's fine. I'm quarantining myself as much as possible anyway. So it's whatever. I'm not doing this test. I'm not doing this test. My family did the test. They said you have to do it. I said no. I said if y'all have it, I have it. If y'all come back positive, I'll be positive. But I'm not. Nope. Patient zero was found. The OG coronavirus spreader. This is a horrible headline to have about yourself, by the way. If you were found out to be patient zero and Channel 9 News rolled up at the next couple years of your life is going to be rough. This happened in Wuhan. This was a shrimp vendor. Shrimp vendor at the Wuhan market where the coronavirus pandemic reportedly started is believed to have been patient zero, which refers to the first documented human who was infected. The Wall Street Journal reported that the woman is 57 years old and identified as what she's identified as. I'm not on here to defend her. I don't think I have any viewers in Wuhan, but I'm not here trying to embarrass nobody. She reportedly developed symptoms around December 10th. She sought out treatment at a local clinic and returned to work after, which may have caused the spread of the disease. I felt a bit tired, but I'm not as tired as previous years. Every winter, I always suffer from the flu, so I thought it was the flu. She's just one of these people who just flu every year, just catches it. I don't know what's going on with her white blood cells. It seems like she'd be like, I recognize you from last year. But the flu, let me tell you something about the flu. The flu be out here doing pull-ups. The flu, you think I'm doing the I Am Legend challenge. The flu is up to 100 reps a fucking day. And the flu is out here getting buff. It seems like the flu just comes back every year. Like, what's happening, blood cells? Blood cells are still like, I saw you last year. Who is this new person? Did you go to prison? How did you get so ripped? You're like Goku. You're like, the flu is low-key Goku because people are coming from all over space. They've been hearing about this dude. They're just like, oh, I heard he barely beat Frieza last year. Let me come through and give him hands today. And then you're like, damn, it's been several seasons since Frieza. Who is this new nigga? You way stronger than before. Flu is back here slapping up white blood cells every single year. And I don't know what's good, but this lady has been having the flu every single year. And then this year she just had a super flu and just passed it off as nothing, which is I'm not trying to blame her. I mean, if she caught it, she caught it. She didn't know she had it. She started spreading it around. You know what I'm saying? It's like the person who was the first person who caught a cold. You can't blame this dude. He probably went outside. He's the first nigga to walk outside without a fucking bear jacket on. And he was like, "Ooh, it's a little nippy." Achoo. Probably sneezed on his bitch. Achoo. And then, the cold spread. He didn't know. The first caveman did not know he had the cold. It's the only point I'm trying to make. But shout out to Shrimp. I personally think that I had coronavirus earlier this year. I had a mean ass flu. I tried to eat some Wendy's spicy nuggets and I blamed Wendy's. That's how I feel bad now in retrospect because I was, I'd be on social media and stuff. I was driving home. I didn't feel good. Stopped, ate some spicy nuggets. Couldn't even really keep them down. Went home, tried to eat them, was like good. And then I blamed Wendy's. I went on Twitter. I was just like, spicy nuggets don't hit like they used to. Nigga, you're sick. You're dying. Shut up. I ended up falling asleep next to the nuggets that day at like 8:00. And it was like that for a few weeks. I think I had it because she said she contracted this in December 10th. And I eat a lot of shrimp. I feel like I got some, I went to I Postmate some shrimp fried rice or some shrimp chow mein. And I got that coronavirus early. I got that VIP Roni. But good news is I beat it. So healthy to just do stuff to you. So, hopefully she's better. I didn't really hear anything about patient zero dying. But I also didn't really follow up with this story. But yeah, I hope I didn't just depress the hell out of everybody. These were some dark stories, but hey, this is some dark times. Tekashi 6ix9ine is out of prison. He's on house arrest. Luckily, he's quiet. I know there's a couple people after him, but I feel like the internet is about to turn up in a few days. Shout out to Ronald Burns for the Red Bull. Oh, Hazel's scratching at me door. Whitney Truitt, appreciate the 5. He said, my podcasts and videos have helped me get through schoolwork. Happy I finally caught you live. You're super cool. Well, come on. I appreciate it. I have never thought I was cool in my whole life. Super casual. Boom. Another Cloudy Village chief is in here. Fam. All right. I'm coming. $5. Appreciate that. He said, good luck with the All Def Con. Thank you. Put my $1 on it and we'll catch what I can. Appreciate it. To learn, be informed, and if chat's open on it, watch fools be fools. So first of all, thank you, Super Cash. It's one of the OGs in the Cloud Village. But I do want to talk while I have you guys. All Def Con is tomorrow. It's super dope. I basically based the schedule around all of the All Def properties that you like, as well as giving a voice to new things that are coming up. So if you don't know what it is, it's a digital conference. So it's basically like your Comic-Con or a Complex Con, but you don't have to show up. You have to go. And the main point is, so you can stay healthy and all that. But it's also so that you don't have to pay that $400 or $500 that these other cons are charging. It's only $1. And the only reason we're charging that is because the app charges us to use it. So we're only charging $1, and all of that money is going to help families affected by COVID-19. So anybody that's been affected by this lockdown, affected by the virus itself, and help medical bills, whatever, donate what you can. But it's only going to cost $1, and it starts at 10 o'clock. You can get into the lobby at 9 o'clock. Network with each other. There's booths. I have a booth. Protect Your Light will be there. There's exclusive All Def Con merch. There's a bunch of merch booths in one tab. There's a tab where you guys can break off into one-on-ones and network with each other and build. I hate that I said build. And then the main stage is just going to be, the schedule. It starts at 10. I'm going on at 10 o'clock. Meg is hosting the whole thing. We're doing dad jokes at 10. 9 o'clock, we're moving to arts and raps. You're going to see the creator along with the two hosts. We're going to hear from the CEOs that bought the new All Def and all of the vertical heads like comedy, gaming, cannabis, fitness. And you're going to hear about everything that's coming up next from All Def. Precious has a segment for her new podcast. Teddy and Doughboy have a segment. Roast Me has a segment. Great Taste has a segment. Kev, Trevor, and Tony have a segment about building your brand and taking advantage of the internet. So it's going to be super, super dope. What time zone? Great question. It's going to start at 9 a.m. PST, which should be noon for Eastern. 11 o'clock for Midwest. The middle. But yeah, if you're on the West Coast, that will be 10 a.m. Please tune in. It's going to be super, super dope. We're going to have Q&As. We're going to have exclusive stories. And this is going to be the first of the All Def Cons. It's only going to get bigger from here. And it's going to be dope. So I'm really, really excited about it. We're pretty much running rehearsals. So check that out. All Def Con. And also follow me on Twitch. I'm actually going to jump on Twitch right now. See what's popping. And then I believe we are going live on the All Def page. We're going to do a Zoom conference to talk about Tiger King at around 3:30, 4 o'clock. Shout out to Roy G. Biv for the last minute buzzer beater donation. He said, just listen to Water Temple for the first time. Dope as fuck. Hey, that's what's up. Check out my music. Water Temple out now. Up in the Clouds 2 out now. And I'm about to drop some exclusive quarantine content as well. Sydney White, another buzzer beater. He said the Discord is fire. Link will be in Twitch. We love Pat. We share that love and support. Oh, come on. I feel like through this whole Cloudy Village, people walking around with like 90 new friends. It's ridiculous. So appreciate that. Check us out and join the Discord if you want to jump in the Cloudy Village. Chris Cheeks, hilarious name. Tickets will be at alldefcon.com. So again, that's all ALLDEF con.com. sign up, and it will be happening from, I believe, like PST 10 a.m. to like 5 or 6 p.m. We're going all day. Something new every single hour. Steph Lita, 14 of them things. Appreciate you. Jesus, y'all gonna keep me fed through this quarantine. You're gonna keep my pantry stocked up. And also, since there's so many of you guys still here, I am starting a food podcast with my cousin Fred. Super dope. It's called Caught Snacking. We shoot it in our pantry, and it's a lot of fun. We shot the first episode. I'm waiting for a logo. We're gonna start our YouTube channel, and it's gonna be lit. It's all food related. I have to join a FaceTime call with Arcade Tokens. So I will see you guys later. Stay safe and stay healthy. Love y'all.